Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got the tank review for the brand new independent Era 3 premium MBT, the Dragula T-55AGM. Now, as always, if you do like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the T-55AGM, the Dragula. This is part of Metalfest. This is Rob Zombie's Collaboration tank. It is an Era 3 medium tank, technically, but, well, classification doesn't really count for much in Era 3. And, yeah, it's got a good gun, it's got good mobility, it's got good DPM, it's not really got any armour. It's got the type of armour that occasionally can grant you a ricochet, and occasionally ATGMs might just hit the upper plate and not do anything. But for the most part, this thing is quite Swiss cheesy, and it will get penned very, very easily. But, like I said, the gun and the DPM is quite nice. You don't really have much gun depression either, though, because you do have the 5 degrees of gun depression, which is very Soviet-esque. This tank reminds me a lot of the Type 59D, but just better, and that's purely because they are very similar projects, right? The Type 59D is a Type 59 with an extra armor package. This is the T-55, but with extra armor on it, right? It's very, very reminiscent of that. Like I said, the gun handle is nice, mobility is good. The other thing to mention for this vehicle is that if you do the community challenge and you pick Rob Zombie, you can get a 50% discount for this Dragula T-55AGM. So do have patience. Wait for the community to get 10 million points, and when you've picked Rob Zombie, you will get this 50% discount on the Dragula. Okay, so do have patience and wait, and you'll get it way, way cheaper. And that's just the way to do it. So how much is the Dragula? Let's have a quick look at that if you're going to get up to 50% off on it. Well, the Dragula is 14,400 gold, so naturally that is going to cost you 17,000, quick maths, bro, 7,200 gold at 50% off, which for an Era 3 premium is very, very good. The only thing I'll say is, it depends on if you like Rob Zombie, right, is that for 4,000 gold, you can currently pick up the Leclerc T4 out of the Ultimate Pass, and I do think that this is a better tank. So if you're thinking about which one do I pick the T4 or the T-55AGM, I would fully go for the Leclerc, because I feel like it's got, you know, pretty much the same mobility, it's got the same gun handling, it's got better pens, so you never have to fire premium rounds, and it's just got better armor as well. So all round, it's just a better tank, and you get this for 4,000 gold, essentially, by buying the Ultimate Pass. So if you were to pick between the T4 or the T-55AGM, I would pick the T4. But that said, we do have the Dragula here. What's the statistics like for this vehicle? Well, it's got a 70.4 km/h top speed, with a 20.9 km/h reverse speed, with 1,050 horsepower, which gives you a 22.83 horsepower per ton ratio, which means you get to the 70 km/h really, really easily. If you want to make it faster and run the traction system or powertrain, you will hit the top speed of 77 km/h or just over 80 with the powertrain as well. You will hit that when you run those equipment. You've got 20 km/h reverse speed as well, which is fantastic. You do get back round corners pretty quickly if you do make a mistake. You got 10% internal fire chance, which is on the lower end of internal fire chances. I don't really think I've been set on fire yet in this vehicle, so that's quite nice. You got 3,600 hit points with 48 degrees a second hull rotation speed, which means this tank does turn very, very quickly. You got 1.8 on soft, 0.9 on medium, and 0.8 on firm, which means this tank zips about. You don't have to worry about your terrain resistances whatsoever. Camo is actually not too bad for a medium tank, but at the same time, you're not really that bothered because it's Cold War. You've got 560 meters of view range, which is pretty okay. You get that up to about 600 plus, I think, with the view range, if you take Born Leader, etc. That's not too horrendous, but at the same time, you'll be able to spot everything within your view range with that, and then you'll be able to use your True Vision to do the rest. You got 44 degrees a second on the turret rotation speed, which is slightly slower than the hull, so bear in mind that if you turn the hull, the turret might not quite keep up. You got a 0.66 accuracy during rotation, with a 1.06 accuracy during movement, which is absolutely phenomenal. It means that the gun doesn't really bloom out that much at all, which is beautiful. You've got 14.25 degrees of max elevation, with 5 degrees of gun depression. Now, the 5 degrees of gun depression is very limiting, and you will find that really hinders you in a hell of a lot of situations with the Dragula, which is why I say something like the Leclerc T4 is a lot nicer. It's a lot easier to play because you have that good gun depression. You can use yourself on ridge lines perfectly fine, whereas this thing will struggle against those sorts of tanks because of the ridge lines and the fact that the gun just shoots up into the air. You've got 7.6 second reload, which is 4,300 DPM, which I believe gets up to about 6,000 DPM, 6,100 DPM with the build I run, which is really, really good for this vehicle. 0.25 accuracy during, well, at 100 meters is very, very good. You got a 2-second aim time as well, which will get even lower with the crew skills and stuff, which again means your gun aims in exceptionally quickly. And because you got 1.06 accuracy during movement and a 0.66 accuracy during rotation, the gun aiming circle does not bloom out that much at all, so you don't really have to worry about the aim time for this gun. You've got 606 penetration on this 125mm gun, which is APFS DS on the standard, 697 penetration on the premium APFS DS, and 155mm penetration on the HE, which is 550 damage on the standard and premium, and 690 on the HE. You got 1700 meters a second shell velocity on the standard APFS DS and the premium APFS DS, so you will not have to worry too much about leading your targets. And you've got 850 meters a second shell velocity on the HE. So if you do choose to load HE, you're not going to have quite the same speed as your standard and premium. So bear in mind that that is a hell of a lot slower if you do switch to it. The other thing to bear in mind for this vehicle, by the way, is you've got a 42 ammo capacity, which is very low. This thing runs out of ammo very, very easily. So that's why I say if you do choose to load HE, because you're probably not. They really do have to buff this ammo count because it's really not good enough. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a struggle at times. You got 150% silver bonus as well, with 110 on tank XP and 125 on commander XP bonus, which means this is a really good crew trainer. But for silver, it doesn't make quite, again, another bonus point for the Leclerc T4. This does not make anywhere near the level of credits, or silver, sorry, that the Leclerc T4 does, because it's 10% lower on the silver bonus. And add to that you will end up firing premium at some point too, which lowers the amount of money that you are going to make. So yeah, there's another bonus point for the Leclerc there. So let's have a look at the module viewer for the T-55AGM. As you can see, that is where the ammo racks are for the vehicle, just inside the drive wheel here. If someone was to look at you this way, they can shoot you here. They'll probably damage your ammo rack if they do pen you. Also, this back end of the turret is all ammo rack, so if you get this thing side on like that, shoot it here and you will damage the ammo rack. If you're firing an ATGM, that is the place to hit it with the ATGM, because you will blow that ammo rack sky high. And then in terms of the engine block, you see here, it is in the left-hand side of the hull, and you got that whole back end there as engine block. But like I said, I've not really suffered it too badly yet in this vehicle, damaging the engine. But yeah, that is where the engine can get damaged, and that is where the crew sit for the T-55AGM. There is only 3 of them. So what do I run in terms of a crew and equipment? Well, I run food, because food makes everything about the tank better. The advanced loader, vents, and the traction system. I run traction system to go faster, to go at 77 kilometers an hour. I run vents to make the most of the DPM, because I feel like that's one of the key assets for the vehicle, is its DPM. That's one of its only real key strengths. And the advanced loader, again, to make sure that DPM is as high as humanly possible. You could drop the vents if you wanted to, just to run the powertrain to go even faster. You could run advanced armor in conjunction with armor angling to reduce the amount of damage coming into your tank by 10% if you wanted to. If you wanted to boost up your view range, run optics, but I'm not sure why you would do that. And if you feel like the gun is annoying you, you could run the gun stabilizer to make the accuracy even better, but because the accuracy is already so good, I don't really think you need that. Or if you get annoyed by ATGMs, you could run the enhanced missile warning. It's down to you and how you feel comfortable playing your vehicle at the end of the day. Or the spore liner for ramming. You never know, you might like going ramming. So it's down to you and how you feel comfortable playing the tank. There's no real right or wrong way most of the time to set up a vehicle. It's just how you want to play it. So what do I run in terms of a crew? Well, let's go get Rob Zombie from the K1, put him in the Dragula, and I run the Born Leader, Rapid Reload, 6th Sense, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, Rapid Aim, Clutch Braking, Deadeye, and Armour Angling. Now, I run these 3 perks are what you run on every single Cold War tank. Well, these 4 perks are what you're going to run on every single Cold War tank. Run and Gun to make the accuracy during movement a little bit better, because I'm not going to run the gun stabilizer, so I'm trying to get that number below 1 so that the aim circle is small and I don't have to worry about the aim time. Rapid Aim to make the turret traverse better, because the turret traverse is a little bit slow, so I do want to make that slightly quicker. Clutch Braking to make the track traverse better, so it does turn on the sixpence even faster. Deadeye for the memes. Realistically, I would say that I would take Deadeye off and put Track Mechanic on, because the amount of times that this thing will get its tracks blown off is quite often, so it's nice to be able to get your tracks back on quicker if you can, because things don't generally in this era have the the DPM to perma-track you if you do not run Track Mechanic. So I run Deadeye for the memes, just so I'm increasing the amount of module damage I possibly do. But again, it's just one of those things. The armor angling as well to reduce the amount of damage coming in, because I just want to reduce the damage rolls on my tank, because I say everything will pen this thing. It's like Swiss cheese. So I want to reduce the amount of damage that I'm taking from every hit. So let's take a look at the statistics of the vehicle now it's got all equipped. We're now going at 77 kilometers an hour top speed with a nearly 23 kilometer an hour top speed, reverse speed, I should say. We've got 22.83 horsepower per ton, which is what we already had. We've got 57.75 degrees a second hull rotation speed, which is way, way quicker than it was. We've got slightly better ground resistances. We've got 620 meters of view range. We've got 54.82 degrees a second turret rotation speed, which again is slightly slower still than your tracks, but is way quicker than it was. The 0.64 accuracy during rotation now, with 0.8 accuracy during movement, is just utterly superb. It means this gun is ready to go all the time. 0.2 accuracy at 100 meters as well is fantastic. 1.81 accuracy, aim time is also very, very good. 1.81 means this gun aims in superbly quickly, and the fact that the aim circle is not very big because these two stats are low is meaning, yeah, it's very, very good. And that 5.4 second reload is 6,100 DPM, which is, yeah, very, very, very good. And it's one of the key strengths of the Dragula, if I'm honest, is this DPM, which is why I run vents, just to make it a bit quicker. But yeah, that's the Dragula T-55AGM. It's, well, that's a good point, actually. I will show you quickly the armor modules so that you can see the spacing, stuff like that. So 200 on the front, with that front turret bit being only 10mm thick, with 25 on the top. I mean, it's weird angles, as you can see, which helps, but it means that realistically you've not got much armor at all. And against a lot of the penetration that is in this era, it just absolutely butchers the poor vehicle, because you've got 100mm upper plate, and then on top of the upper plate you do have 30mm and 25mm of what I assume is ERA. So yeah, you've got another 55mm of spaced armor on top of the hull, but the hull being only 100mm thick means that pretty much, like I say, everything goes through that upper plate. It's only really effective at possibly every so often taking ATGMs out of the equation, right? Most of the time you will just get penned. Like, people, if they are shooting at this thing, just shoot the drive wheels and track it and pen it like that. You might damage the ammo rack if you shoot it on that side, and yeah, it's very, very easy to take out in that regard. So without further ado, what I'm going to do now is send you over to the replays where you can watch the Dragula T-55AGM in action, see how it handles. You'll see that that engine bit on the back does wiggle when you're driving the vehicle, which is kind of cool. And yeah, the skin is really quite nice for the Dragula T-55A. But yeah, you'll be able to see how this thing handles and see if you would enjoy it yourself. And like I say, 7k gold, 7,200 gold or whatever, for a tank in Era 3 is always an absolute steal. It just depends whether you actually enjoy Era 3 or not. So without further ado, I'll send you to the replays. So here we are in the replays with the Dragula T-55AGM, and this first replay we are on Erlenberg. And on Erlenberg we're going to go, well, I was thinking of going charging down the 9 line. But my whole team has gone to the left and gone down the JK instead and gone for the 1-2. So naturally what you don't want to do in Era 3 is leave the wolf pack, because if I just went where the TD is going right now, I would probably die, because their whole team would charge down and we'd be dead within about 3 seconds. So you do not want that. See the wolf pack is going that way. Don't think, oh, I've got to defend a flank by myself, because, well, there's no point. You're just throwing your hit points away. You're not going to actually impact anything anyway. So if you can try and be a spearhead for your team at the front of the wolf pack and keep it moving, that way you might be all right. So you're seeing here, we're at full chat. We're going nearly 70 kilometers an hour. Look at the bloom on the gun. It is non-existent. Look at that. It's non-existent. That is while we're at full speed, which means that this gun does not really need to aim in all that much, because, well, it's fully aimed in most of the time, and that's where you don't feel the 1.81 second aim time, because, well, you don't really need to aim in all that much. It does feel nice with how hard it hits. It hits for that 550, which is nice, and the consistent DPM of it is good too. And in this replay, you're going to see me actually try out the armor against ATGMs, by the way, and it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. I thought, well, you know, fully you know, this is the type of tank we've got ERA and stuff on it. I might try and see if I can sit in front of an ATGM, see if it gets absorbed by the frontal spaced armor, because when a new tank like this gets released in Era 3, and you have, like, spaced armor all over the tank, it's like, you do think sometimes, will that work? Will it? Won't it? You know, we may as well try it. So, we're trying to get a shot into the side of the 292 there, but sadly we ended up bouncing off the side of the turret, and thought maybe we'd get a shot into the VFM, but we don't. And there's a BMP-3. It's like, hello, dude, shoot the ATGM. Oh, he penned me. Oh, he set me on fire. I did say in the review part that I don't get set on fire all that often, but actually I've been set on fire 2 or 3 times, and it's usually when they do pen you through the drive wheels that you start to notice, oh, that's my fire, that's my engine, oh, ouch. And you can see the fuel tanks have gone again. The fuel tanks do actually seem to go quite a bit from having played it a bit more since doing that review bit, and yeah, it's a bit of a pain. But we're up to 2.7k damage so far. We've managed to bounce something from the distance. We pop round, finish off the 292, and the BMP smacks us again with an ATGM. That one we weren't testing, we just didn't realise he'd fired an ATGM, and he ended up taking off basically most of the rest of our hit points. We're on 190 hit points, which means we've got to play very, very carefully, because one shot of damage will go straight through our tank. And, yeah, well, one shot from anyone, really. The BMP, naturally, we're not too fussed about, because the BMP is not really going to pen us with the autocannon. And we're just trying to keep our gun working while also being as humanly careful as possible. That really was a great English sentence that we just did there. We've been as careful as humanly possible. Great English. So, being careful as humanly possible, you can see I'm just ducking and dodging, dipping and diving. And we actually see a Jaguar 1 in the distance. It's like, hello, Mr. Jag. We're going to get some free shots into you. He's fired an ATGM, so he's definitely still sat there. 588, and I think he's got the hint now that he should run away. Just watching the ridgeline still, again, with the true vision to see if we can see anything else in the distance. Get free shots again while we're not being looked at, because the moment we get spotted and looked at, yeah, it's going to be curtains for us, and that's not good. The Jag and the Weasel are still there. We're just looking to see if that Jag could give us a chance, but he doesn't. And I'm starting to get itchy feet. I'm thinking, I want to now go forward and try and get my gun in the game, because I'm not really doing anything at this current moment in time. And then I've got... Why? Why, Mr. Jaguar? We ended up shooting, hitting his gun, doing no damage, because I thought that was the only shot I was going to get, because naturally, if someone's shooting at him, he's going to pull back. No, we bounced and he pulled forward, because of course he did. Oh, you know, sometimes the timing in this game is like, it's just like, hey, screw you, buddy. And, yeah, it is what it is. But you can see now I'm going forward. We're at 5.7k damage. And we're going to get to the bridge and see if we can get across, get some cross shots and side shots into the guys on the AB line. But we actually find this Chieftain Mark 11, who has got his drive wheel around the corner. So we track him in place just as an ATGM slams him, and we get a lovely 1,100 tracking. And we take that to the bank. It's one of the things that I try to do every single time I'm playing this tank, is track, track, track. If I can track someone, I'm getting bucket loads of assistance, and obviously that assistance then adds to my credit total as well, which is nice. But we're also getting good combined games doing it, which is, you know, it's always nice. And when you've got good DPM like this thing has, going for tracks is always worth it, because a lot of people, like I am currently with this vehicle, don't run track mechanic. So you will be able to perma-track them, and that will be awkward. So I thought my life was going to flash before my eyes a little bit there with that AMX-40, because I thought the moment he came over, he's just going to hot shot me on the move, because that's what everything can do in Era 3. But thankfully the shot went to his lower plate and finished him off before he got his shot off. And we shut down that Western Alliance Era 3 medium tank? Yeah, medium tank. There's only 4 tanks left though, and I want to try and get up behind these 2 heavies on the left and see if I can get some free shots while he's dealing with this light tank into the T292. Because it's always nice to try and get shots into people as they're distracted with everyone else, especially when you've got no hit points. There's the Weasel toe. It's like, hello, Mr. Weasel. Well, as long as you're too close to me, you're not going to really do any damage to me. But then again, it generally does about 300 damage if it fires within its close range. Well, within its minimum arming distance. So he could still kill me if I'm not careful. We try and get the shot into the Weasel. And that one missed. Come on, game. That looked like that should have been. And this time it's like, no, Mr. Weasel, you are dead. Okay, maybe you're not dead. But this time, for sure, you are dead. Get out of my game, little pest. Pest control at your service. That took too long. Shooting at them bloody things sometimes is just pure pain. But yeah, we got a bit unlucky, but we didn't manage to do it. We were just watching to see if that 2A4 did cross that gap, but thankfully he ends up getting killed by the T4. And finished the game with a fairly average total there for the Dragula. We finished with 4 kills, 7,066 damage, 1,437 assistance. The first class, the Confederate, 1,562 base XP. A pretty decent game there for the Dragula. I'm surprised that was a first class, but yeah, we'll take it. It's whatever's. It's whatever's. But yeah, pretty decent game there for the Dragula. And now we're on to the second replay. In the second replay, we are on Vineyards. And on Vineyards, what I'm going to do is charge to the position at K5, because I should be able to use the rocks as cover and pop round and just keep popping shots off here and there. And you never know, like, they might charge, but usually what happens with Vineyards is that a lot of people will end up sitting directly behind me and they'll feed me some assistance, I really, really hope. So yeah, this Dragula is quite nice to play. It's just there's nothing stand-outish about this tank. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's alright. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this tank is very much like playing. It's kind of like, it's alright. It's got a nice gun, it's got nice DPM. Armour's hit and miss, not really that useful at times. Occasionally get a nice bounce. You got decent penetration. You just sort of, yeah, I exist, you know? The one thing that is a little bit sad about it, obviously, is that the Type 59D just sits there crying in the corner going, "What am I? I'm so pathetic and useless now." And that's the poor Type 59D crying in the corner. That was it. That's the epitome of it. And this tank is literally a Type 59D, but better. And that's a little bit sad for the Type 59D. I don't know what they could even do to give that thing some sort of love, because it is really pathetic in Era 3 at this point. But, yeah, that is what it is. And like I said, this tank just doesn't feel like anything special, you know. It doesn't feel like it has any calling cards that go, yes, that's better than everything. Yes, that's a strength that's better than everything. Because the gun is fantastic, but so is every other gun in Era 3. Like, most guns in Era 3 are exceptional, except for some of the higher caliber ones, right? DPM, it's got, you know, good DPM with 6.1 thousand, but then there's quite a few other tanks that also have pretty high DPM, like the Peace Cells, for example, that has 6.5k DPM, which is another Metalfest tank, you know, for comparison. That's got 6.5k DPM, and again, the gun on that is phenomenal. That's pretty much always aimed and aims in really quickly, and that's also extremely mobile. It's got 8 degrees of gun depression, you know. The only thing with the Peace Cells is naturally that thing is stupidly expensive, whereas this is actually going to be quite cheap with the Metalfest discounts, right? But yeah, so if you know what I'm getting at, right, there's just nothing that's truly stand out about this tank that you go, yes, that is a stat that is better about everything else. It doesn't even need to be like everything's better about a tank. It's just that it has that one stat that stands out and goes, yes, I am great at this. It doesn't quite have that, and that's why it feels like it's kind of fairly average. It's always nice that it is fairly well balanced, right, which is probably the good thing, that it is fairly well balanced tank, and it's not going to be breaking the matchmaker, making us all cry, but yeah. But anyway, we're into the madness of Era 3. We're at 6.5k damage with 3k assistance. You can see I'm always going for tracks. Sadly, we did not track that Leopard 2 there, but I do want to get rid of him if I can. I take a hit in the side, repair my ammo rack because it did get damaged. Hello, Mr. Leopard 2. Give him a little love tap. Good night. There's the Thumper. Thankfully, the Thumper misses. We get a shot through his side, and he's starting to turn to deal with the tank behind him, who he did track him. So I put a shot towards his upper plate, lower plate, miss, and then look and go, oh boy, he's actually snapped onto me. He sets me on fire. We just get the reload in time, shut down the Thumper, and we burn out to death. That was one of the moments of I thought, oh, we should turn in to shoot the other dude, and then looked back and went, oh no, he's looking at me. And we finished that game with the third class, the defeat, sadly, the eye for an eye, 8.6k damage with 3.5k assistance with the 4 kills. 1,029 base XP on a loss isn't too bad. But yeah, sad times. That was just one of those, oh no, spaghettios problems, you know. Which is always sad. But we are on to the I just realised we burnt out to death there, which is another one of setting on fire. I did say I didn't really feel like I got set on fire all that often, but my fuel tanks keep getting damaged, and I've been set on fire in 2 replays. Oh, well played me, right? But yeah, anyway, we're on to the third replay, and this third replay we are on Thankyou Ridge! Wow, it took about 10 years, but we got there. Well done, Brain, well done. So, we're on Thankyou Ridge, and on Thankyou Ridge, I have full sent to this hill, because it is always a good spot to take. The only problem with it is in Era 3, you have a lot of people that just camp at C2 and B3, which is exactly what's happened here, which can be good for you, because you can get a lot of assistance. Because if you spot the things that are around this hill and they come and attack you, they leave themselves exceptionally open to being shot by the guys at C2 and B3. The problem with that, though, is if they do full send this location, you're probably going to die. You may get a lot of assistance, but you're probably going to die, which is sad. But thankfully for us in this game, they've not really done that. They've done what... Because it's usually one of two ways with Thiepval Ridge. Either they full send up the 9 line and up the A line, or they full send down the J line and up the 2 line. And it seems to be the case that that is what they've done. They've gone down the J line and up the 3 line, and they've had stragglers stay back to try and defend the base. So we've got 1 shot of damage so far with 513, and we are just going to try and see if we can get some cheeky shots into the Magak 7C, but that one bounces, because thank you, RNG, that was exactly where I needed that to hit. We actually tried to track him there, but sadly we didn't track him, which means we didn't get the assistance. Hello, Marder 1A3. What is that? Your minimum arming distance is 100 meters, is it? You can see me looking through when I was trying to shoot this guy. I was making sure he is staying at 100 meters away. I'm like, no, Mr. Marder 1A3, it's not happening, sir. He ends up doing only 300 damage. I avoid the ram because I didn't really want to lose any hit points to him, and we finish him off. Now we're going to go through the gap and go after this Weasel Toe, and again, with the new minimum arming distance, I don't have to worry about him ATGMing me from a shotgun, which there would have been absolutely nothing I could have done, but we get a free shot into him, trying to get another shot in, and that one looked like it was going to go true, but it didn't. But he's going to come into it. Yes! Get out of here! Pest control at your service! Yes! That is a ram that you want to see. We take those every day. Ramming weasels is always super satisfying. So, we're now going to poke behind these guys. I was going for the tracking shot once again on the M1A2, but sadly, he ended up just stopping dead. We get it that time, though, and I'm like, people, do me a favour. Shoot it. Shoot the tracked thing. Give me all the assistance. We retrack it. He starts and turns around to look at us. There goes the ammo rack. And you can see I'm like, no, I was perma-tracking him. The one thing I didn't want was to get ammo racked. And, yeah, now we're stuck with really poor DPM, but he gets torn to shreds by a weasel and something else. And we've now got to defend our base. And you're seeing an ammo problem. We're nearly out of standard rounds. Now, for those games that do happen, where you miss quite a few shells, and you have to do a lot of damage, like the 15, 16k mark, right, which do happen occasionally, you just don't have the ammunition. You don't have the ammo to miss, which is not very good for the Dragula. It really needs an ammunition, but 42 is just not enough for a tank that fires so consistently and so quickly. In Era 3, that sort of ammo loadout is way too low. So we get a shot into the back of the Type 85i that tracks it only. We get slapped then as well and breaks our turret by what I can only assume was the Weasel that's sitting up towards their cap. Just waiting for the turret to be repaired so that I can actually get myself back into the game, because I really want to help out where we can, because we are exceptionally close at the minute. It's 4-4. This is going down to the wire. The Magak 7C is just YOLOing, which is giving us easy access shots. We are firing premium now, so naturally we have the, what is it, 697 penetration rounds, sorry, so nearly 700 pen premium rounds, which means we will absolutely butcher the Magak 7C's armor. I know there's a medium tank coming, but I wanted to get rid of the 7C from attacking my friends before that point. The Type 85i is now attacking us, but because it's an 85i, we knew we could go straight through the turret front with 700, and he gets shut down by the Leclerc. Now there's 2 tanks left. There's the Weasel, which is somewhere. I'm just watching to make sure that I'm not going to get ATGM'd. And we've got the Object 490 tow pole. Unfortunately, we missed the tow pole. He tried to ram us to death, and we get to finish him off. Another ATGM flew past somewhere, so I'm not sure whether that was my Weasel shooting at the tow pole or if that was theirs, just missing. But we're up to 10,395 damage, and there's 1 Weasel left. And it's like, Mr. Weasel, I'm coming for you, buddy. I don't want you to get away. So you can see I'm using the camera, tilting it to look over the ridgeline to make sure that he's not escaping. I'm trying to use the true vision. Just trying to keep my eye on where he possibly could have gone. And, in fact, there we go. We see him moving. Hello, Mr. Weasel. Got to make sure that I'm careful. And Neo! Dodged the ATGM. I had to be careful there because he could have killed me with an ATGM, but thankfully we neoed the ATGM and we finish off the Weasel Toe there with the final shell of the game. We're finished with the victory. 4 kills, 10,668 damage, 192 assistance, the first class, the high caliber, the Confederate medal, with 1,743 base XP. A really nice game there, again, for the Dragula T-55AGM on Thiepval Ridge. And yeah, again, that game just epitomised the Dragula. You know, you fly around 77 kilometers an hour, keep the DPM flowing, keep the shots hitting, and just make sure that you're in the right place at the right time to keep your gun flowing, because if you're not in the right place at the right time, the game could snowball very, very quickly into the negative favour, and you'll end up losing, which is not what you want, right? So we're on to the fourth and final replay of this review, and we are on Airfield, which is always a bit awkward in Era 3, because what generally tends to happen is their team will definitely come to these areas at E5-6, and most of their team will come here. And our team tends to split off and go with... Most of the team goes to, like, J6, which is where they are currently sat. And only a few of our tanks tend to come this way, and then we just get overwhelmed and die, which makes, again, this fight very, very awkward. But we're going to make of what we can, because we do have a good few numbers here, so we've just got to try our best to, again, use our DPM where possible, try not to bleed too much, and harm the enemy team. So, we're currently at 1,522 damage without taking a hit, which is going well so far. The BU is tracked in an awkward spot. I was hoping to possibly get a retrack there, but we had to be careful because I didn't also want to get tracked in front of their team. I looked for the shot into the Leclerc's little bit on the right-hand side, because you can pen that if you've got high enough pen, but, well, I don't. I went for the Cupola, but, well, that was never going to pen. I knew that was never going to pen, I just did it anyway, which sometimes happens. So... I'm trying to figure out where I want to be. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to be helpful right now, because my 5 degrees of gun depression is a little bit awkward. I can't use the ridgeline like the guys on my left, but I can just poke this corner. So we poke round, get a shot into the Leclerc T4's lower plate, trying to see what we can do against this Charlie and not take a hit. The Charlie 2 fires. It's like, Mr. Charlie 2, I'm just going to take the opportunity to go through your lower plate, which we do. He's trying to look for a shot into us, but we've got a nice crossfire now with the heavy tank that's at the other bit. Shot through the T4's lower plate again, damages Emmerich and his fuel tanks. Just trying to bait him to fire. He doesn't end up firing, and we end up shooting the T4 down there. But next target again is this Challenger 2. We get the tracking shot in play. He repairs. Oh boy, this is the chance. We track him in place again. Everyone's driving around the corner to shoot this guy. It's like, feed me the tracking. Feed it to me. And I end up pulling forward and going, oh yeah, sorry, Mr. T4. That was nearly a pooey move there. I was like, oh, sorry, Mr. T4, you can fire. Kill him. And he did end up killing him. So... just looking for the tracking shot on the 292 again, but sadly, well, I say sadly. I was going to say we ended up missing the tracking shot, sadly, and set him on fire. There's no sadly about that. We'll take the fire. And we're up to 7.1k damage. The Leclerc T4 there, destructible cover, takes the shell. It's always a pain shooting through destructible cover, because you never quite know whether the shells are actually going to go through and pen the target, or if they're just going to get absorbed. But again, we go for the tracking shot, but we ended up just missing it. But we did end up tracking him anyway, because, you know, drive wheels sometimes. Now the Leclerc T4's getting ganked, and it's like, hello, Mr. Leclerc T4, don't mind if I retrack. But, well, yeah, he ends up getting tracked by the Ram and shut down by the MacArthur Mark III. The next target, Leclerc T4 again. Thank you for the drive wheel. My whole team is with me, sir. Will you please feed me tracking? We get the shot into his side, and we get all of that tracking assist. We're up to 3.5k assistance with 9.2k damage. Now there's a Chieftain Mark 11, and Chieftain Mark 11, again, exceptionally easy tank to track. Mr. Leopard 2A4, are we okay? I think he's been learning from my driving skills. That doesn't track or pen. Game. Oh, RNG sometimes. We do manage to track and pen him with that one, and we get a bit more assistance. RNG sometimes says, ha, no. And we, sadly, yeah, didn't get that. Now there's a Magak 7C in front of us, and we want to get after this Magak. So I'm like, let's get up behind him. And oh, he's just played us all for the fool, hasn't he? He has. He's gone up there, which means we're not actually... well, we might still get a shot into the Magak. Oh, we didn't quite get the shot into the Magak 7C. We should have known he was good. He was doing that. We should have known that was happening, but sadly, we just fell for it, drove off, and then got duked very hard. But there's 2 tanks left on the enemy team. There is, again, I'm thinking, right, if I want to get in there, my whole team is starting to swarm. I want the tracking assist. If I can get the tracking assist, that would be gravy, baby. So, Mr. 292, I've got hit points. I can take a hit. Come here. I want to track you if I can. Give me all of your assistance. My whole team's gone for the other guy. My 292's gone after him. So here we go. Tracking shot. Straight in. He hasn't repaired, which means he's either used a repair kit already or he's just not bothered. We retrack him there. My team is coming in. Feed me all of this assistance, team. There we go. We finish off the 292 and finish the game with 11,046 damage, 6,343 assistance as well. That's 17k combined, which is glorious. The Ace Tanker, the Confederate, the 2020 base XP. Really nice game there for the Dragula T-55AGM. Like I say, it's one of those tanks that's just kind of, yeah. You know, there's not anything truly standout-ish about it. But also, it's not a bad tank, you know, it is fairly well balanced, which is good. And you can pick it up for 7,200 gold if you wait for the Metalfest deals and you've picked Rob Zombie. Wait for the community up to finish and you've picked Rob Zombie and you'll get 50% discount on this tank for 7,200, which is not too bad. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!